We're gonna get mauled on the high ground. Hi everyone, I'm James Roselia, and joining me now is a very special guest. Do you want to introduce yourself, or should I introduce you? You should
That's a
introduce.
good question. I should probably introduce myself. I'm Barry Brophy, a fellow Patreon member, and I'm here with James Roselia from the Rebel Scum podcast. Very excited to talk about some fan films.
You're good at that intro thing. Maybe we should get you to do our intro from now on. We
Well,
should,
I had an idea.
we should also tell everybody to like and subscribe. You should like this video and then
Yes.
subscribe and hit the little bell button. That's what you want to do. You want to like it, subscribe, and hit the bell so you'll never miss another video ever again. And if you don't like it, hit the like button. That's what we just, no matter what, just hit the. We never tell people to hit the like button, and we're trying to start that. We're trying to start. We're trying to start a movement here at the Rebel Scum podcast. Anyway, this is an episode of High Ground. This is a new High Ground that we're doing. We're going to be reviewing fan films at the Rebel Scum podcast. Star Wars fan films, not like other fan films. We won't be doing that. Transformers fan film that's been making its way around. I made that up. I wish there was though.
Oh,
But
say.
yeah, it would be sweet. Actually, I want to do a He-Man meets Thundercats fan film. That is what I want. And I'm
Awesome.
going to work on that. Yeah, I would watch that. We're going to be reviewing fan films. Barry and I will be doing that over the next forever because they will never stop being made. That's one thing that's great about Star Wars fan films is, we're going to talk a lot about them because I think they're fantastic. And this was actually your idea.
Yes. So I guess I'm going to throw my Disney pitch out here. So just in comparison to some of the films we've seen that have shown up online, I'm amazed at just the amount of, just with the technology nowadays, what we're able to achieve and pull off with little to no budget. And so I know for me, it gets me really excited because I remember, and if you remember back in the day in the early 2000s where, the prequels had just come out and there was a lot of hype. I actually remember a TV show where they would review the top fan films for the year and they would play them. And so this one excited one I remember is one of Obi-Wan and some training droid scene where he was fighting in the mountains, just some guy shooting it. It was pretty amateurish, but it was pretty awesome to see the amount of fans build up around that. And then as YouTube's catched on, just the progression of some of these amazingly written stories and awesome choreographs. And again, on next to nothing budgets, getting 10 million views. I mean, just do the math. So.
Yeah, it's incredible. And and say what you want about any aspect of it, but these are just people like you, me, and you guys watching and everything that just have a passion for Star Wars and have a story idea, and they're doing it because they just want to do it, and it's awesome to see, and it's fantastic. And so we're gonna do as many as we can over the rest of our lives, reviewing these fan films. But we're gonna start with one. I think this is one of the biggest ones I can remember. One that everybody was talking about when it first dropped, and that is Maul.
Yeah, it's incredible. Being a Darth Maul fan, I am incredibly biased towards this fan film. So for me, I missed Ray Park, in The Phantom Menace when, that ending fight scene. It was just amazing. Wanted to see more of it. And definitely this fan film has taken up that reins and built upon it. It's by a team out of Germany called T7 Pro, and they've got an awesome behind-the-scenes reel if you want to check out how they shot the film within 10 days, just with some stunt doubles and some careful choreography and some people, who've watched a couple of YouTube videos. Maybe they're doing a little bit of independent film or selling stock footage online. These guys were able to put their skills together and pull off something that we've kind of dreamed of. It was completely fan-serviced. Let's see. So you want me to talk about the plot? You want to talk about the plot?
I just want to say that you and I are both huge Darth Maul fans. So when this thing dropped, what year did it come out? 3 years ago. 3 years ago. I think this was right around, was it? It's March 5th, 2016. And I just remember seeing it. I think Brock sent me a text like, "You've got to look at this." And I was like, "Oh, do I have to look at it?" And I did. And it blew my mind. So why don't you tell everybody what the plot is?
Yeah, absolutely. So the plot, I don't know if you're familiar with the old 2000-ish novel, Darth Maul Shadowhunter by James Luceno.
Oh, yeah.
one of my favorites. So this story basically it kind of follows a progression of you have Darth Maul finishing off his training on the planet with Darth Sidious coaching him, and unfortunately a band of Jedi stumble upon his training planet. So the story focuses on these Jedi trying to defeat this new Sith Lord they've discovered, while also trying to survive and make it off the planet safely to warn the Republic. And not to offer any spoilers, you can imagine the chaos that ensues and what happens following that, leading up to the Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I love that it's a prequel to the Phantom Menace, and I love the. Are we going to do spoilers for it? I don't even know. Should we? It's 3 years old. I think we might be okay. Okay, I love the very end. So anyway, Maul, spoiler alert, wipes out all the. Anyway, just watch the thing. It's freaking amazing. But Maul wipes all the Jedi out. Like, just knocks them all out, and it's a lot of fun. And the last one, he kind of hesitates at, but he sees the camera droid kind of come in, like, and stare at him, and he slices her out. And then Sheevy P shows up as a hologram, and he's like, and he calls him Darth, and he anoints him Darth for the very first time. But what I love the most is that Sheevy P says that he was the one that had all of the Jedi come there, and that was like his final test. That it was a trick by Palpatine, by Darth Sidious, to bring the Jedi to that island for Maul's final test. I love that. I love that it stayed true not only to Maul, we got to see that, but for the Emperor, for the would-be Emperor, the soon-to-be Emperor, we got to see him manipulate the Jedi in another fashion.
Oh, and I must go back and watch for more details. I missed those portions. Shame on me for being a Maul fan.
All right, his makeup looks great too.
Yes. And that's another portion I love about it. I remember when I was 13, my mom painted my face exactly the same way for Halloween, and I've been trying to locate that photo. So the fact that, all that was hand painted. I mean, a lot of Maul costumes I see at the time where they just put on the mask and maybe some cheap prosthetics, but these guys went all out with detail. And you can see there's just such a passion.
Yeah, that's it. It bleeds through in this that you look at and you say, they care about what they're doing here. And I thought the lightsaber fights were all fun. Thought they were good. I love the Jedi characters themselves were all neat. Some of them looked a little Mortal Kombat-y, but I love seeing like different styles of Jedi. Like they're all kind of different and they're brought there. And it just yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, what would be cool if we saw early, because the thing that's cool about Maul now, especially now, 3 years later, is we've gotten him being his ending in Rebels. We've got him return in Solo, and we've got him in Clone Wars, and of course Phantom Menace. It's like there's this whole character that we're just scratching the surface of, and a lot of the surface has been scratched off, especially with Clone Wars. But what happens in those 10 years between Solo and Rebels? What happened there? And then what happens between the years between Clone Wars and Solo? And then what happened, because this obviously is not canon, it's a fan film, and that's what I love about this is how did he become a Darth? Like, who was he before? And it's kind of been explored in Son of Dathomir and whatnot, but visually in film and video on YouTube, not so much. So I love that, and it opens up Disney's eyes to say, hey, a Disney Plus series about Maul and Kira.
Oh yes,
I'm holding
sign up.
Yeah, you take my money. I don't know how much it's going to cost in Canadian. I'm sure way too much, but I'm down. Let's do it.
Yeah, and I mean, I forget I think they're at 10 million views right now. Last time I checked Friday, so just do a little bit of math. $15 a ticket, $10 a subscription. You're at your billion profit, Disney. Let's jump on that.
Yeah, Darth Maul Apprentice, a Star Wars fan film, has 19 million views on YouTube.
Wow.
19 million views. It's incredible. People love it. Maul is one of those characters that if you've seen Clone Wars and Rebels, you love him to death. If you've seen The Phantom Menace, you love him because he looks awesome. He's just a character that people gravitate to. So what's the T7 Pro Productions?
Yeah.
They took that and ran with it, and they made this experience. And it's not like a deep film or anything. Like, it's just a lot of fun, which is really, what for the average goer, that's what Maul is. I mean, like I said, with Clone Wars and that, there's a little bit more depth to him, but man, they really got a hold of Maul and this whole idea. And then, like I said, with what happens with Sidious at the end is like, Oh, let's see. Make another one.
Yes. What are some of the things I picked up? Who was your favorite Jedi out of the group?
I don't remember any of their names. Is that bad?
No, but I'll get to my favorite. The translation I thought was very interesting, but fits his character quite well. So the guy they call in the comments section the Sub-Zero of the
Yes,
Jedi.
that's the one. The Mortal Kombat looking one. That's the one I love too. Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
he's referred to as a Jedi Berserker, and I'm like, yeah, that fits. That fits his name for those of
Yeah.
you who play MMOs.
Yeah, he was awesome. There's so many. I like and then the one at the end, the not Ray, at the end.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of not Ray. That's what I like to call her.
I think what I enjoyed about it is I like watching how they parallel the Qui-Gon Obi-Wan a little bit with some of the characters. So you got
Yes.
the main guy who fought, the short-haired Qui-Gon, let's call him that. Just you could just see that just kind of paralleling and knowing that Phantom Menace is coming up and witnessing that. I mean, I think what I drew away most of it from is the utter hopelessness these people were engaging in. And just as you're watching it, it builds and builds and builds. The Jedi come out, a little bit arrogant, a little overconfident. Then as it progresses, they realize, no, this is as horrible as we could have imagined. We're not even prepared for this. And then, they wipe out. Incredible.
Yeah, it's so well made, so well done that that's why it has 19 million views. There's no way around it. It's an X. I would like if this was I guess a series because it is it's 20 minutes, 17, 20 minutes, whatever it is. It's perfect for that time frame. If it was any longer, maybe it would lag a little bit. You'd feel like it. So I don't want to say I'd watch a feature film about this specifically, but as a short as this is the length of a TV show, half a comedy, I guess, not a drama. But this is something that if they did say we're going to make a follow up to it, I don't know how they would do that, but I would totally be invested in, and I would help kickstart that on Kickstarter.com. That's right. I would do whatever I could because I would be totally down to watch another one of these epic Darth Maul because they got the character, his motion, the fighting, the choreography, all of that is in there, and it just shows. And I'm really happy that this is in our universe.
Yes, absolutely. To look at my notes. Yeah, I think what I like about Maul is just he doesn't have to say anything. It's the presence he carries, and so they really jumped on that in this film. You can see it in his facial expressions, and even near the end with that last Jedi Padawan, you could see a little bit of the hesitation, but the conflict of the rage he's dealing with, having been brainwashed into Jedi are evil. You need to annihilate them. When you get that chance, go for it. And again, paralleling the Shadowhunter novel. Uh, for me, I mean, that's what I wanted to see, and now you get to see that. And so, yeah, if they did some sort of follow up, I would love to see it in a different area. Maybe get a little more personal into Maul's thinking, his ideas, his hatred. And I mean, there's tons of canon stuff out there you could pull and pick, and then write something original. Definitely would love to see the Coruscant version of that.
Oh, that would be amazing. I wonder what did he just get dropped off on Naboo and wait for the doors to open before that? Or did he take out some Naboo guards, like royal guards and stuff, before he got there? That's what happened. How did he get to Naboo? What's the story before Naboo? Just go back. You know what? I just want Naboo in the movie. So go back to Naboo. Naboo. We're going to talk about Naboo a bit in next week's episode, but I can't. I just if you have the ability to make a Darth Maul fan film and you're watching this right now, all I can say is just do it. But get the makeup right because that's important. But definitely do it because there's so much to that character to explore that hasn't been explored. And this one, like you said, you want more of him because this isn't. While this ends up being about him being anointed Darth, this is really just about how powerful the Sith are and a fun action moment more than anything else. The depth is kind of left aside a little bit.
Yep, completely agree.
And nothing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing because it's like I've been gushing because I love this. I love this film. All right. Anything else you want to say about Maul Apprentice?
Make a second one. Yeah, I definitely hats off to T7 Pro and their a bit, just the cinematography aspect of
Oh
it.
yeah.
You had all these beautiful panning shots. You had the up close, and then they would give you this random shot far away in like the forest and and that desert, parched savanna type land, just to show the amount of isolation. And I know for me, just that thrill of what's gonna happen to these guys, who's next? They're surviving. You're in it with them, and the camera work, you can just see it, and how they do it. And definitely behind the scenes reel, if you guys want to watch more about it, you get the joy of seeing their film crew run around in between the 5-on-1 Jedi fight.
So good. Yeah, check it out. It is on YouTube. We'll put a link in the description below so you can watch it because it is worth your time. T7 Pro, thank you. That's all I can say is thanks for making this for Maul fans like us happen. Thank you so much. This is the high ground, our fan film reviews. Do you want to give this a rating, or are we going to stay away from ratings because we're both gushing over it? And we both be like, let's just give it 11 out of 10 and call it a day.
Yeah, that's pretty much me. I'm, like I said, Maul biased, so anything with Maul and awesome fighting, wushu style with lightsabers, I'm going to enjoy it.
Yep, I'm on the same level as you. So let's call this one. Thanks for watching. Do you want anyone to... You're having a YouTube channel coming out soon. Do you want to promote that, or you want to wait a little while to mention that?
I'll probably wait a little while. We're still working on the final details, getting up a little more professional.
But it's going to be good.
It'll be good. If you like independent film and audio dramas, this will be the place to go.
And they're all starring me.
We did need some voiceover work.
It's coming. I'm going to do it all. Hey, this is my voiceover. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. And as always, may the force of others be with you.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.